Hey, this is Ankur Shukla here, and I want to show you my new WP Fresh Chart 4.0, which is a massive update from the last plugin version, that is 3.0. Now, WP Fresh Chart was my first plugin launch, and since then, over 15,000 customers have bought this plugin, and over 50,000 sites actively use this plugin to date. Yes, over 50,000 sites, and everyone is extremely happy. And that's why we keep updating and adding new features every single year and releasing a new version every single year. And that's how we have the 4.0 releasing in the next few days. Now, let me show you what this does and how this works and what we have added new to this plugin. So once you install WP Fresh Chart 4.0, just like any other normal plugin, you will see that there are a few extra menu options here than the last version. Now we have a quick settings option, which actually lets you do a lot of things very quickly. Let me show you what that does. Once you click on the quick settings, it shows up a box. Now you can actually edit your site title, your site tagline, edit your email, delete all the posts and pages that have been there by default into WordPress, create about us, contact us, HTML sitemap, create blank pages that you want. You can basically enter any names of those blank pages you want, like products, services, and those if you are building a business site. You can also create blank posts, so you can actually create placeholder posts if you like. You can also create sample content, so if you want to test out new themes and all those things, you can actually create 5 posts and 5 pages automatically, completely filled out with images and text and headlines and bullet points, all those things to test out how your new theme looks. And you can basically add that all in one click here. You can also create the must-have pages that everyone must have, is privacy policy, terms of use, earnings disclaimer, Amazon associates, copyright, anti-spam, cookies policy, and all that. You can also show a cookie warning for EU laws. So, European Union requires you show that if you're using cookies on your site. So you can enable this right here. You can also create multiple categories in just one click by actually adding all the category names here by commas. You can also create multiple tags if you want to use tags for your SEO purposes, which I highly recommend. You can also delete all the temporary comments you have on your site in just one click. And also you can actually start set up email notifications if you want to stop getting new comment notifications, if you want to moderate all your comments, if you want admin to moderate all your comments, you can select all these things. You can also disable comments for posts and pages. You can also enable placeholder images, which means that you can actually insert images as a placeholder in any of your content and then replace them later with the real images, right? So you can do that and then click on next. And now in the plugins section, you can actually install a bunch of plugins by just specifying their URL. Now we have a list of recommended plugins we can add, and we'll just click this one button and it adds all the recommended plugins that we have from the WordPress site, right? Next, we will go into security, and it actually allows you to disable mouse right click so people cannot copy stuff from your site. It also disables text selections so people can stop copying content from your site, and also disables image hot linking. So basically it stops people from stealing your images and linking to your images from your site. Next, we'll go into SEO. It actually sets up the permalinks for you, like the post name for all your post names, creates XML sitemap for Google. It also creates a robot.txt if you want. And if you want to, temporarily disable search engines to visit your site, you can select this option and then you can enable it later. Next, you can go into the other section and you can add your Google Analytics code for tracking all your traffic. You can add your Facebook pixel code for tracking getting all your Facebook ad pixels in place. And you can add your Webmaster Tools code here to connect your Webmaster's account to your site. And next, you can finally click on the Save All Changes button, and all these things will be done in just one click for you, right? This is the quick settings mode. And next, now this is a lot more features from we had in the earlier version. And next, we have the advanced mode. So to show you the advanced mode, I'll click on the WP Fresh Chart on the left menu, and now I'll click on the configure option here in the content. Now you can actually go into the content section and configure a lot of things one by one. Like you can actually create posts and pages right here, create blank pages and all that, create legal pages, you can create categories and tags, you can add sample content, and you can actually select what sample content to add. You can also delete sample content from here. You can moderate comments and all those things here. You can actually set up images and the under construction option. Next, in the plugins section, we have a bunch of recommended plugins for you divided into various categories. So you can just select which plugins you want to install, and then just go on to the next section and then select more plugins if you want. And then you can just keep going on and select the best plugins you like. So these are all the plugins we recommend in each section. You can select a bunch of plugins here, and all these plugins will be installed in one click for you. All right, so these are a lot of performance plugins, e-commerce plugins, security, backup, a lot of other plugins, and also you can add your own list of plugins if you want, and all those plugins will be installed for you, right? And then just click on the blue install selected plugins button and it will install all those plugins for you. Next, we'll go into the security settings option, and you will see that we have the same disable mouse right click, disable text selections, image hot linking, all those here. We have the SEO settings here, which you can select and do a lot of things here as well. And we have the other settings here, which actually lets you add the Facebook pixel and all those things. Also, you can add some extra code into your headers and footers. So if you want to add other pieces of code into your site and have them available on all the pages of your site, you can add those things here. Apart from that, you can also add custom CSS and custom JavaScript code, and you can also set up your email. So you can basically set up the default email that comes from your site and the default from email name for your site. Now, this is something, there are a lot of things for which you will need extra plugins to be actually installed, and this plugin does all of that for you with just one plugin and just one click, right? And we also have the famous Insta Reset feature, which basically resets your site completely to a brand new WordPress. So let's say if you have a very populated blog which has a lot of spam, which has a lot of content that you have been experimenting with for a while, and you want to reset it to the default state for WordPress, just write confirm in this box and then press the run button, and it'll actually delete everything and give you a fresh WordPress site without having to install WordPress all over again on your site, right? So this is WP Fresh Start 4.0 with a lot of new features in 2017. And if you want to get review access, just follow the instructions below and you will be able to get access to this plugin. Thanks.